Welcome to this episode of Crocheting with Dakota. I am going to show you how to crochet this 6-triangle hexagon. If you look closely, there are 6 triangles making this one up. I have created this pattern myself. It may already exist somewhere, but I did not consciously look for it. I did not look on YouTube, and I don't have it in a book or written pattern anywhere. So I just started crocheting, trying to create a different kind of hexagon than what I already had, and I figured this one out. So there you go. This is a tutorial on how to make it. So let's get started. You will need, of course, your crochet hook for whatever size yarn you're using. I am using worsted weight, so I have the US H8 size hook, or the 5mm as it's called elsewhere. You'll need scissors and a darning needle, and of course your yarn, and hopefully not a cat that gets in the way. Huh, Max? So I always start with a chain to make the circle here. You can also do the magic circle. I, however, have a very difficult time doing the magic circle, so I just use a chain. For this one, I do a chain 4. So first get your yarn started on your hook, however you do that, and chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I join them together with a slip stitch. Now I'm going to chain 3 to create the first double crochet of the first round. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So let's look at that first round on the example I have here. This consists of 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets around, so you have 6 sets of those. 6 sets of 2 double crochets. So that counts as our first double crochet. And so we're going to double crochet into the center. And that creates our first set. So now we're going to chain 2 to make our first corner. So 1 and 2. And I work this piece in as I go, so I don't have to use the yarning needle at the end. It's one less thing to do. So now that I've chained 2, I'm working on the second set of 2 double crochets. That was 1, and here's number 2. Now we're going to chain 2 again to create our next corner, and 2 more double crochets. There's 1 and 2. So we're halfway done. We're going to chain 2 more and 2 more double crochets. 1 and 2. And now this piece is small enough that you can just kind of fold it back. But also you can tell here that there's not much room, so I push this side back to create more room. Now we're going to chain 2 again, 1 and 2, and do another set of 2 double crochets. Just 1, 2, and now we have 5 sets, so we need one more set. Chain 2, 1, 2, and push that back a little bit more. And we're going to do 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Now to connect, first we need to chain 2 more, 1 and 2, and now I do a slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we did to begin this round, and I always use 2 loops here instead of just 1 because I feel it makes a better finished look. It's always a bit difficult for me to get it going. Kind of depends on how tight that particular stitch was as to how difficult it becomes. Sometimes it's real easy, like that one was, and then I pull through there. Now to begin our next round, we'll do a chain 3 again, but let's look at that round first. So this round consists of 4 double crochets for each side, and then you chain 2, 4 double crochets, chain 2, 4 double crochets around. And what you do is, we're going to be starting in the middle, but on one side you have a double crochet in the chain 2 space from the previous round, and then you double crochet into the top of each one of these double crochets, and then another double crochet into the next corner. So let's begin with a chain 3, 1, 2, and 3 to create that first double crochet, and we're going to double crochet into the top of this double crochet. And now we're into the corner here. So this chain 2 space from before is one of the corners. So we're double crocheting into there. And now we're going to chain 2 to make our next corner. 1 and 2. And we're going to double crochet back into the same chain 2 space. And we're going to double crochet into each of the top of these. One and 2, and now we're to the next corner. So 1 double crochet into that chain 2 space, and we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2 for the next corner, and double crochet back into that chain 2 space, and then we're at our next side. And we just continue this around. This is an easy pattern where it doesn't take much thought. You can very easily work on this while watching TV. I can usually whip one of these ones out, including a border, during a half-hour episode of whatever show I'm watching. Of course, that is also concentrating on both this and the TV. Okay. Sorry about that, my battery died on me. So I was just talking about how long it takes to do one of these. If I'm just doing one of these without doing anything else, it takes about 15 minutes, including a border. And it can take longer or faster depending on how fast you crochet or what else you're doing at the same time. So I'm going to finish this round up here real quick. And it's just 4 double crochets per side with a chain 2 corner. And each round you add 2 double crochets for a total of 4 rounds. You can keep going if you want, or do fewer rounds depending on the size of hexagon you want. Okay, one more here for this corner, for this side. Now I'm going to go ahead and chain 2 for the corner. Now this side here only had 3 because we began here, so we're going to do 1 more double crochet into the corner to finish this side. And now we're going to join these 2 like we did in the previous round. Almost. There we go. And that's just a slip stitch. Okay, the next round has 6 double crochets, 1 to the top of the 4 from the previous round and 1 in each corner. And again, it's a chain 2 for the corner. And we start with a chain 3, so 1 and 2 and 3. And now double crochets into the top of this one and this one. It kind of came out there. Let's try that again. There we go. And now we're at the corner, so 1 into the corner. And chain 2 to create the corner for this round. And 1 more double crochet into that corner. And now we're doing 1 in the top of each of these 4. So that's 4 double crochets across for this line here. That was 3 and 4. So now we have a total of 5 counting the corner, and 1 more into the corner here on this side. So that there is our 6 across. Spread that out so you can see it easier. There we go. And now we're at the next corner. So chain 2, and then double crochet into the corner. And now we have these 4 we're going to double crochet on top of. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So we have a total of 5 now, and we're doing our 6th into this corner. So that's that side. And now I'm going to finish that up. When I get back over to this corner, I'll meet you there. Okay, now I have completed this side with 6, so to finish this side that only has 4, I need 2 more. So I chain 2 for the corner, and now I'm doing a double crochet into the corner, and then 1 more into the top of this double crochet, and that creates our 6th double crochet for this side. Now I'm joining these like I did the previous 2 rounds, a slip stitch into the top 2 strands for the chain 3 from the previous round, of this round, sorry. Slip stitch there, and that ends that round. Now for the next round, there will be 8 double crochets, 1 in the top of the 6 that are from the previous round, and then 1 in each corner. We start with a chain 3 again for that double crochet replacement, and we're going to double crochet across in the top of each one of the double crochets of the previous round. And there we go. It's 2 and 3. Now we're at a corner, so we're going to do a double crochet into there. And we're going to chain 2 for our corner and double crochet into the corner. And we're going to do the 6 across here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. So with the first one from the corner, that's 7. So our 8th is into this corner, and that creates that side. And I'm going to chain 2 for a corner, 1 and 2, and double crochet into the corner here, into that chain 2 space, and then 1 across, 6 across, 1 into each of the double crochets. That was 1 and 2, 3, and there, 4, 5, and 6. So it's a total of 7 across, counting from the corner, and 1 more into this corner here. Hello, Max. Yes. Can you get down? So that is that corner, that side. So I'm going to continue around, and when I get back over here, I'll catch you there. After Max walks by. There we go. Okay, you'll have to forgive Max's tail wagging there, or walking underneath. Get down. There we go. Okay, I'm back to the last corner here. I finished this side, so now I have to chain 2 for the last corner, and then I'm going to double crochet into the chain 2 space, and then I have 2 more double crochets to finish up this side. Now I'm going to join like I did in the previous rounds with a slip stitch into the top chain of the chain 3 that began the round. And this one's being difficult. I find that the further along I work these, the harder it gets. Okay, so let's get through there. That's the slip stitch there. Now to end this, I have been doing a slip stitch across because it creates a nicer edge. So I'm going to slip stitch into this part here, and I do that 3 times for good measure. And then I go ahead and I trim off the yarn, and then I just pull that through. And then I go ahead and I thread this in. I go down this double crochet and then across here. Creates a nice tight ending that hides the tail very well. And I put the needle in first, and I make sure I can't see it in this part here or on the back. Then I go ahead and thread, and then I pull through. And now I pull this part tight, pull it out here, and then pull this here before I trim off the excess. Now you can end here if you want. I, however, am adding a border because I put all these together into a blanket, and I like having a edging that will create a invisible connection when the hexagons are different colors that are next to each other. And I am using a off-white color for this. You can put this on in several different ways. Some people knot it, some people do a single crochet, some people do other things. For this particular project, I am doing a single crochet join. So for that, I have a tail end that I make a loop with, and I hook it onto my hook and pull through there, but I don't pull through all the way. Then I take the short end and drape it over the side here to hold it, and then I thread the yarn onto my fingers and I kind of pull tight there. And then I chain 1, and then I insert my hook into that same space that I pulled through before, and yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through. And that's the single crochet. And now this tail end I work in as I go along, and I just do a single crochet around and every single double crochet, and then I go into the corner with a single crochet and chain 2 and then single crochet. So it's basically doing a 5th round to this, but instead of double crochet, it's single crochet, and I change color. So there we go. That's our corner. So that's the first single crochet, and then I chain 2, 1 and 2, and then single crochet in there again, and then I single crochet across. So you should have 10 single crochets for each side, and you do a chain 2 for the corner. This is where I joined, so here it's difficult to get the hook into the top on some of these. Some of them it's easy, so when you can't, I just go ahead and go around the whole space there. And you do this all the way across. And here here's our next corner, and chain 2 and single crochet. So when I get to over here, I'll meet you there. Okay, now that I've made it back around, I just have 2 more single crochets to do. There's 1 and 2. So to connect these 2, I do a slip stitch into the top of the first single crochet, and then I do a slip stitch across 3 times before I snip the yarn. So there's 1 and 2 and 3. So now I'm going to snip that there and pull this through and pull tight. Now for this one, I use the darning needle to thread it, and I go this way, pulling this here, because if you go this way, this is loose, and you can have this little loose bit there. So I go this way, and it pulls it tight, and then there's no little loop there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I go underneath the single crochets. There we go. Now I'm going to thread it and pull through, and I pull this tight before I go ahead and trim. Now that can be considered done. One thing I double check I do, in this case I actually didn't do it the first time, is with the circle here, there's usually a tail end there, and I pull that tight, and then I go ahead and trim that as well. And now that is complete. Thanks for watching this particular video. I have other ones up on my channel. I did a shell stitch blanket tutorial. I am actually going to be redoing that due to requests about the camera angle that I was using. If you really want to see that, go ahead and request it as well. I will be working on that anyway, but it's nice to know other people want to see it. I have other videos up on my channel that are not crochet. I have some of my cat that you saw in this video getting in the way. I've done some funny videos of him, and I plan to do other crochet videos as well. So, and there's also other hexagons I've done. Thanks for watching, and leave a comment below, thumbs up, subscribe to my channel so that when I put up a new video, it comes up in your queue. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.